starting a new something new called DeckShowCase, which basically means I'm gonna feature a deck, and oh, what the hell? I'm gonna feature a deck, and I'm gonna play with it just to show you to everyone there. So today's deck, as you can see on the screen, is the deck guide to the Archfiends, which is a brand new deck that I just made, which is going to be featured in one of my videos, and it's personally my favorite because these things are like, they're not OP, but they could do some damage. Like, I'll tell you about the deck originally. Well, when I first seen it, it was during the GX series. You know, Jaden was helping Alexis trying to find her brother in the abandoned mansion. Then the guy showed up and he challenged Jaden with the Archfiend that talk about the Shadow Realm, and he freaking penetrated metal with a piece of paper. Logic. I don't understand it, but anyway, yeah. So that's the original OP deck, and they're basically based around the chess pieces, regular chess pieces. So you know, we got King, Terry, Arch. So along with the King, we have the Queen, Pawn. I believe there is a Knight, but I don't like. There's a 2013 version, so I'm guided more towards that, and it was like, basically, they didn't really become really popular, but because it was really unorganized, there wasn't anything really major until like just this card just released. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys what am I going to show you? I'm going to go into Dueling Network because I would do it in Dev Pro, but that's where I'm going to showcase the actual duels against the bots and some people. So that's what I'll do in my deck showcases now. So I'm going to show you in now I forgot it, Dueling Network, what the deck recipe, what I personally have. So after that, we'll go and test it out. So I'll meet you guys over there. Alright guys, welcome back. Or if you stay, because some people usually don't stay for the first part because they find it boring. But to those who stayed, thank you. I'd like to congratulate you for your new deck. Alright. So first of all, we're gonna start with the main really powerful cards. So we're talking about who are we talking about? Okay. Load, please load. Jesus, why's my internet acting retarded all of a sudden? We're talking about Lord of Terror Genesis Archfiend, which basically is, you can normal summon it without a tribute, but yeah, it becomes half. But before you say, oh, okay, I pay half my luck points, this is a level 8. No, look at the effect though. It says during the end phase you destroy it, which is going to be needed because this deck, the way that I've planned out the deck, it basically involves mostly half of it is banishing cards, and half of it is having enough cards in the graveyard to bring out some of the more OP monsters to give it that extra jolt. But so you can't special summon any other monsters other than Fiend types, which you don't have to worry about because it's a Fiend type deck. And once per turn, you could banish an Archfiend from your hand or graveyard, then target one card on the field and destroy it. So basically, that's a free friggin', you got a pain in the nads card right there. You basically just destroy it by banishing one of your not as useful Archfiend cards, which is there might be a few, but it's definitely gonna be in there. So we'll put that in there. All right, now we gotta move on to the next card, which is Archfiend Empress. This is actually, she has a lot of attack points and she's level 7, but it's actually harder to bring out than our homie the King, the real King, because we do run Archfiend King in here. But I'll read the effect to you guys. When basically you banish one Dark Fiend type from your graveyard, and and if one monster except for her, so basically she's sacrificing herself to protect another, that card will be destroyed. You can banish the Dark Fiend type card from your graveyard and have it and protect it. So she's basically saying, any card that you target, any Dark Fiend type card that you target, she'll protect it by banishing one from your graveyard, which is why I said banish. She's not a main card that I banish because I don't really get a chance to summon her, but we'll get to how we'll bring her out. And then her secondary effect is when she's destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon any level 6 or higher Dark Fiend type from your graveyard except for itself. So basically, if you get her out on the field and she's destroyed, you could basically bring out your one of your powerhouses, which is Lord of Terror, Genesis Archfiends. So that's a good one. All right. Thirdly, we're going to go with the Imprisoned Queen Archfiend. All right. Usually this is not, and people usually don't use this in the Archfiend deck, but I do because if its effect, I don't personally use it in battle, but it's a good card to have in the graveyard when you have Pandemonium up, which is the main field spell card for these guys. So with Pandemonium on the field, you could basically every standby phase after you pay, because you gotta pay to keep the it's not even pay to keep. You have to pay even if you don't want to. You got to pay life points to keep them up on the field. I don't see why, but it's the effect for this one is any monster that you have on your side of the field gets an extra 1,000 point boost, attack point boost, until the end phase. So that'll be, if you're in a jam and you need that 1,000 life points, is gonna come in handy. All right, so we'll add that in there. Next, we have Commander of Archfiends, which basically, if you control another Archfiend, right? Let's say you're basically attack, do direct damage. You do that, right? If you control another Archfiend, you can special summon this card, but you have to destroy an Archfiend. You have to destroy an Archfiend to what's your jiggy? You have to destroy an Archfiend to keep it on the field, and then and it can't attack either way. So you'll be better off destroying one other card. You'll be better off attacking with the card that you already have on the field, and special summon it during main phase 2, which means you basically don't have to worry about this turn whether dealing them damage. And then if you tribute this card, you can target one level 6 Archfiend in your graveyard, especially special summon that target face up defense position. So that basically means you could bring out another card, another level 6 Archfiend, which I'm pretty sure there is because it's in my deck. And you get to special summon that back. All right, so we'll move on to the more, I want to say like lower level cards. 1 second. All right, guys. Sorry, I had to check my deck list again, which isn't depth, bro. But we'll see it later. So next card that you want to add is the mother flipping homie right here. If my friggin' Chrome will stop being a douche about it and freaking load up the monster, whatever. It's just acting retarded. There we go. Is Knight of Archfiends, which basically means when it's destroyed by a card effect. Let's say you had this on the field, you inflicted 1,900. You get to special summon any Archfiend card from your graveyard. No limits to how level it is, how many attack it has. You can special summon an attack position, but it can't attack this turn, which is why I would say that if you run these two, if you have Commander of the Archfiends in your hand, you'll probably want Knight of Archfiends to attack. If it gets destroyed, bring out any high level. If it gets destroyed before the main phase 2. Bring out any high-level Archfiend card from your graveyard. It can't attack, but still, that's basically saying that no matter what, I'll still have a monster on my field with this if it's destroyed by an attack. And then when you special summon, if he stays alive and he's not like destroyed by like Mirror Force or something, and you use Commander of Archfiends effect, you could basically bring out Commander of Archfiends and another Archfiend monster. So let's say you had a level 6 in there. Special summon that back and then you could overlay into like something level 6, or just bring out Genesis, Empress, or maybe even the homie Prison Queen Archfiend. So that's a good effect to have. Next card that we're gonna move on to is Shadow Knight Archfiend, which is actually when you actually have to start paying. There's only a limited amount of cards that you'll actually pay with in this deck, but you'll still need the field card for them, the field spell for them. All right. So one of the main Archfiend cards that's level 4 at least, that I use, is the Shadow Knight Archfiend, which basically it has 2,000 attack points, so that's a guaranteed hump that they'll have to get over. But it's level 4 for a reason, because anytime it attacks, whatever battle damage is inflicted to your opponent is cut in half. So let's say you attack them directly for 2,000, they only take 1,000 points worth of damage, which is good and bad. It'll be bad when you have a time of need, but it'll also be good because you have a freaking super monster on the field that your opponent needs to get over, a monster with over 2,000 attack points, and not a lot of them are level 4, and they'll probably be special summoning. Alright, next card that we're going to deal with is, as you can see already on the screen, which is Terror King Archfiends, which basically means you gotta pay 800, and you have to have another face-up Archfiend on the field. But let's say, to normal summon it, but let's say you already have one. Like, if you already have the homie Shadow Knight and you have this in your hand, that's basically 2 monsters that you have on the field already that have over 2,000 attack points in 2 turns. So basically, that's a real problem that your opponent will have to deal with. And if you don't know already, the regular Archfiend cards have an amazing effect, which essentially means if they're targeted by a card, if they're targeted by any card effect, right? If you roll a die, if it's a specific number, like for Knight it's 3. For Terror King Archfiend, is how much is it? It's 2 or 5. 2 or 5. The effect is negated and they're destroyed. So even on your side of the field and their side of the field, if they target it with a card, they'll have to deal with that. Even though there's a low chance to actually roll on them, it's pretty good. Next we have the homie Skull Archfiend of Lightning, which is basically the effect version of Summoning Skull. As you can see, they look both similar. And you gotta pay 500 for this one. And before resolving an opponent's card effect, opponent's card effect 1, 3, or 6, it has 2,500 attack points, right? So that's a good attack point. So when it's targeted, roll on 1, 3, or 6, which is 50% chance to get that. Negate the effect and destroy it. So basically, if you target it, there's a 50% chance that it will not go through, and it's only your opponent's effects. Next, we're going to move on to a good one that I use to get dark types in the graveyard. That's what you need. You're gonna need that for this deck, which I use is Trance Archfiend. And if you don't know, because this is also in the Dark World deck, these guys use Trance Archfiend to discard 1 from their hand, so that it gains 2,000. Although it doesn't, there's no real discard effects. It's good. I use it because of because it lets me get more darks in my graveyard, which is gonna be necessary. You'll see in soon. You'll see soon. Don't worry about it. And next, this is a main one you're gonna have to use, because this literally adds more to your hand. And this is not the last one last Archfiend I'm going to show you, but it is really important. With Trick Archfiend, when it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect or being destroyed by battle, you get to add any Archfiend to your hand except for Trick Archfiend, but you're going to use it once per turn. I only run the one because, like, I don't know, I don't want to take a mass space having 3 Trick Archfiends in your hand. But there's a bunch of ways to bring it back. Usually what I do, if I draw it in my hand and I believe Trance Archfiend will, I didn't even add Trance Archfiend. I believe Trance Archfiend's effect will activate Trick Archfiends. I believe so, but I know definitely when it's destroyed or you use Commander of Archfiend's effect. If you use that, you can definitely get his effect off. Alright, so another card that we're gonna need, which is an Archfiend card, is one. When I was making the deck, I was thinking to myself to add Archfiend Soldier, but I was going to redo it and add him in there, but I didn't want to take as much space. But if you guys want to, that's an optional card to add, because you you can really use it. It has no card effect, which means you don't have to pay anything, so you'll be alright. The next Archfiend card that we need is an Archfiend General, which goes in hand with Trick Archfiend, because whenever I send Trick Archfiend to the graveyard, usually not on the first turn, but usually when I send it the first time, and I don't already have Archfiend General in my hand, I usually add that to my hand. So because you discard it, right? You discard Archfiend General by activating his effect, and then you send it to the graveyard. You send it to the graveyard to add 1 Pandemonium to your hand, and it has 2100 in level 4, because if you originally don't have Pandemonium on the field, it gets instantly destroyed. So you gotta do something with that. So Archfiend General is a good card to have, even though it's good and bad. I only run the 1 because it gets you 1 free Pandemonium out, and if you eventually bring it out with Pandemonium, your opponents have to deal with a 2100 point monster. Alright, next we're going to go to another level 6 that I recently added to the Archfiend deck, which is going to be Archfiend Guilford, which is effective if you don't previously know. When this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one face-up card and equip it to it, and it loses 500. And like, its effect is continuous. It's like every time it's sent to the graveyard, you keep bringing it back, keep bringing it back, keep bringing it back. All right, and then that actually goes hand in hand. Now that I think about it, with one of the synchros that you need to use for that I use in this deck. So we're gonna add an Archfiend Guilford to the hand. Now we're gonna go to the really, you know how every deck runs Tragodia. We're gonna run to those cards. So first we'll add a Tragodia. Yep, I spelled that wrong. All right, yeah, we'll add a Tragodia. Easy to bring out, easy defense position monster. And if you happen to run into a card with a problem, discard a level 8. Discard a level 8, which is Imprison Archfiend's level. Yeah. If you run in with a problem with a level 8 monster, discard this card so that you can just freaking add it to your hand. So Tragodia is a good card to have. Next we're gonna add Gores, because our free token plus Gores is a Dark Fiend type, which goes perfectly for this deck if the thing will ever load. Thank you. Add 1 Gores. We are going to add a Dark Arm Dragon. I know I can type fast than that, but I'm gonna just work slow. We're gonna add one of these, and we're gonna add a Dark Creator. And if you don't know, the effect of Gores: take damage, drop him. When you control no cards, you get a token equal to the damage, and you can set it whatever position. Dark Arm Dragon, if you have exactly 3, which is like, you want to have that in your hand early, but you can also, if you can also get it mid game, with the effect of the Dark Creator, because Dark Creator effect, essentially when you control no monsters, special summon it in either way. The only bad thing is you can't normal summoner set, or you can do a special summon it. But the good thing is, like, it's OP effect. Once per turn, banish a dark card from your graveyard, and then you literally bring out any other dark card that you want. So basically, if you had, for example, freaking Terror King Archfiend and Skull Archfiend of Lightning, and you want to bring Skull Archfiend back, you banish Terror King, bring Archfiend back, and then if you got another one, you bring out some more. What you never want to do is actually banish Trick Archfiend, because at that point, I actually want to test that out. I will banish it once and then use a card effect that brings it back to the graveyard, and we'll see if Trick Archfiend's effect goes through, because that is very interesting. I never tried that way to do it, but I usually never banish this card, because there's like plenty of cards that you can use to bring it back to get its effect. But at one point, if you have every card that you need, you never know. You usually have to decide what you have to stand still or what to decide what you want. So I'll go to the next card, which are cards to send cards away to the freaking graveyard. So as you know, there's two main cards that you do that with, which is Dark Grepher, Dark G, G status, Dark Grepher, and Armageddon Knight. I don't even know how to spell Armageddon. Alright, with Armageddon Knight, we just normal summon, send any dart to the grave. So if you don't have Tricky Archfiend, that's a free card. That's a card to bring it back out. And if you have Dark Grapher, that is like, I'll show you a sample hand. But if you have Dark Grapher along with Prison Archfiend in your Prison Queen Archfiend and Prison Queen Archfiend in your hand, you basically have, you can special summon Grapher. And you already have a main card that you want in a continuous card that you want in your graveyard. So that's the next thing. Next thing that we're gonna go with is what is the name of that card? Another card that you want to go with is actually a Phantom Sky Blaster, because the effect of it is when it's normal summon and flip summon, you can special summon tokens equal to the number of monsters that you already have face up on the field, including itself. So if you summon him, you get a free token with him. If you already have one on the field, you summon him, get the token for Phantom Sky Blaster himself, and you get a token. You optionally can get another token for the other monster that you want, because it'll literally ask you. I'll show you when I play it in the Dev Pro version. So next, what we want is a tour guide, and we all know tour guide. But you need, wow, I spelled tour guide. Let me just type in guide. Let's see what I get. DD guide. Banishing. That's funny. You run two. I run two of these. You can run however many you want, but with two, you'll have 4 options. We'll eventually have 4. Okay, guys, like I said, I mentioned about banishing, so I'm going to show you one of the cards that we'll need for the banishing, which is Grand Maju Iza, which essentially is a fiend type, so that's fantastic for this deck, and but it's fire, so you can't use it for dark fiend types again, like Dark Creator. Again, with that, you can't use it, but this is also material for if you want to bring out Xyz monsters. Another level 3 card that we're going to go with is a Dark Resonator. Dark Resonator, and for those who don't know that, wow, I put Dari. Come on, man. Reason. Or with Dark Resonator's effect, if you basically need 2 attacks to destroy it, along it has 1300, and it's a level 3 tuner, which is going to be needed. Like, I bring out usually I'll bring out freaking if I play a tour guide, I'll bring out this and Gen Maju out to bring out my level 3 XYZs. But with the Resonator card, right, even though you can't use it for synchro material, there will be level 6 synchros in this deck. It'll be a good card. It'll be a good card for the future to have in the graveyard. So we'll go on with the banishing, and then I told you about banishing. There's another card that I use for banishing. All right, guys. So the next card that we use for I'm sorry I keep going off screen and jump. I gotta just check my deck. Like, I don't know everything by the back of my hand. Is Doomsday Horror, which basically means it gains 300 for every dark type that you have banished, and when it's destroyed and set to the graveyard, you get to you return all remove or play dark cards back to the grave. So let's say you play this and you have Dark Creator, right? And Dark Creator, right? You have Dark Creator in your hand, and this is the only card that you have. You have a bunch of them banished that you did per se, or your opponent did. If Doomsday Horror gets destroyed, essentially you're bringing back more materials for the Dark Creator to banish, so that you can bring out more monsters. And that's also good for Dark Arm Dragon, because If you bring it, that's not the only cards that's going to send them back into the graveyard, but that is one of them. Dark Arm Dragon will have more material to banish. So you banish back like freaking a useless one, you have more useless things to banish for first card effect. So we'll move on to the next one and the last one, which is Master. You know what? I should type in T Master. Or I'll probably find it through this way. It doesn't matter. I don't give a shoot. Blah 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 blah. Where is it? Come on, show up already, please. There we go. There we go. As you can see, there's like 24 monsters, but there's enough spells to try cards. You don't have to worry about that. With Puppet Master, essentially, when it's tribute summon, right? Even though it has 0 defense points and 0 attack points, you have to summon in an attack position, right? When it's tribute summon, if you like, this is the way I see it. If you previously already have the homie commander, when you tribute summon a card, when you tribute summon for Puppet Master, you can target two fiends in your graveyard, and then bring those back. As you can see the strings, bring them back from the grave, and then you bring out 2 fiend types in your graveyard, which essentially means, usually what I do is I have a Resonator card, Dark Resonator in there, and then I pick a level 4, right? So I could sync into a level 7, or if I choose level 3, sync into level 3. But if that doesn't float your boat, you can bring back Lord of Terror, start banishing cards, and Queen Archfiend, because there's no restriction on it just says 2 fiends, and Queen and Empress, I said Queen, Empress, so that you could protect them. All right, and then you still be able to bring out a level 6, and like I was saying before, if you have Commander Archfiends on the field, you could just XYZ into a rank 6 monster. So we'll move on to the spell cards. Alright guys, so now we're back. Now we're doing the spell cards, which I had to check. I run two Pandemoniums, right? So, because there's going to be 3 field spells. 2 Pandemoniums, one Archfiend's Palace. Right? Pandemonium stops you from paying every time, and whenever an Archfiend card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one Archfiend from the deck to the hand with a lower level than the card that is sent to the graveyard, which essentially means, right? If somebody destroys Archfiend Guilford, right, you can keep adding up to the how many level 4 lower Archfiend level 4 Archfiend cards that you have in your deck back to your hand, because Guilford keeps getting sent to the graveyard because it's getting destroyed, or it's like by like MST or something. So you could keep adding cards to your hand. Another thing you do, Archfiend Palace adds 500 to all of your fiend type monsters, which means your opponent, if he's also playing fiends, you don't got to worry about him. They're not gonna have the same boost you do. And then you could banish one fiend you control, except for one Archfiend card that you targeted, and special summon one Archfiend card from your hand deck with the same level. So you're just bringing out more cards out. You got a level 3 Archfiend, which I do, which is Trick Archfiend. You special summon another level 3 Archfiend, which I don't run, so I have to be level 4s all day, every day. Alright, next thing you want to add is Axe of Despair, because Axe of Despair is it's a troll card, because like if you play on freaking Dueling Network, which is what I'm on now, people will be like, oh, you can't add that, it's not an Archfiend card. If you read the description, this card is always treated as an Archfiend. So if you want a card for a free 1,000 life points, this is what you want. Along with that, so let's say you have Axe of Despair on the field, right? But there's still a pain in the ass card with this card called Falling Down. You could basically steal it, but as long as you have a freaking Archfiend card on the field, this card can't be destroyed. You have to have a face-up Archfiend card, or it gets sent to the graveyard immediately You know, like you remember the ghost from SpongeBob? Not the regular one, the paper one where Mr. Krabs is outside the window. Immediately, yes, immediately. So that's what's gonna do. Next, you want to add the Holy Trinity, which I will do, which is Monster Boar, Heavy Store, and Dark Hole. If you don't know, which I'll do off screen. Next, what you want to do is have more cards to bring back the ones that you wow. A freaking high price Monster Reborn is $121. Jesus Christ. Which is there's a card specifically for that, which is called Miracle Dig. If I spell miracle right, I'll be happy. Which I didn't. All right, so we add Miracle Dig to our hand. We add Miracle Dig to the deck because if you have 3 or more banish, which you want to have at least 5. Why did I say 3? You return 3 of them to the graveyard. You want to have at least 5. You want to have 5 because then that brings back materials that you can banish for Dark Arm, Dark Creator, and Lord's Archfiend, and whichever ones that you need to banish. So after that, right, we will move on to, I believe it is the trap cards. Let me check. All right, guys, now I'm back. So I checked the Archfiend. There aren't that many Archfiend cards like that you actually have the trap cards that deal with these. So there's 2 main ones. You can run as many as you want. I usually only run 1 of each, which is Archfiend's Roar and Battle Scarred, and then you can add whichever other trap cards that you want. I have 44 cards, which means I added 7 more trap cards. So with Battle Scarred, select the Archfiend. Your opponent during the standby phase, your opponent also takes the damage you would. I don't believe Pandemonium stops them from taking the damage. But if this card is removed from the field, so is the destroy monster. And with you special summon 1 Archfiend card, but it can't be tributed during any other condition. It can't be tributed. It can still attack. You only have to pay 500 life points, and you can just it can attack, but it can't be tributed under any conditions. So you can't even tribute it if it's like for its effect or whatever. No matter what, you can't tribute it and it's destroyed during the end phase. What I usually like to bring out is something like Cavalry or the Trick Archfiend, because then I gain their effects. Cavalry, special summon, Trick Archfiend, add to my hand. So that's always good. Alright, and if you freaking bring Lord back, you do 3,000 points of damage, and you get to destroy a card. You destroy a free card on the field by banishing another. Alright, so I'll let you guys decide whatever main cards that you want to have for your trap cards. I run the 7, like I said, these 2. But now we move on to the extra deck. So for the extra deck, I'll start off with these synchros, since there's only 3 of them. Jesus, why did I do this? I put Darm. I put Blood Manfist. I put Dark Manfist. Like, I'm so used to seeing Dark with the freaking Fiends. I put the wrong thing up. 1 second. Okay, so we got Blood Mephist. Okay, that's that thing. We're gonna use Dark Highlander. I'm not talking about the car, because that's my car. Well, not even my car. But with this card, basically, it's a good monster because it has 2,800 attack points, and if your opponent is big on synchro summoning, he is not, because this essentially stops all synchro summons for both players. Even though people do more XYZs and junk, I still like the synchro. That's my favorite. That's my favorite type of summoning. And once per turn, you can target equipped monsters. So if your opponent is using an equipped deck like Noble Knights, you can destroy all the equipped cards destroyed to one specific equipped monster, and your opponent takes 400 for each of them. So is that once per turn, or is it yeah, that's once per turn. So with the Noble Knights, basically they'll get those cards back, but if they have like 4 of them, 4 of the cards attached to it, they'll be taking 1,200 not even 1,600 points of damage for each one of them, just as long as they had that one face up card on the field. So that's good. Next we have Sirius Blue Star Wolf, which is a beast warrior type. It's not even fiend type, but so you can't really use it. But its effect is freaking amazing because essentially you could target any face up monster your opponent controls, and it loses 2,400 attack points. So if you got a real meat monger on the field, like let's say you got Grapha or something, even though Grapha can get brought back, it still loses 2,400. So if you bring out freaking powerhouses and whatnot, just start slicing them up. Yeah, so you can get Trick Archfiend to destroy it, so that you don't have to use your big monsters to destroy it for you. So we got that. Next we're gonna add Strike Bouncer, Strike B. What is it? It doesn't matter. So we have Strike Bowser, M7, because with M7 you can add. Whoa. With M7 you can send any card in the graveyard or field back to the hand, I believe it is. And we're gonna add Swordbreaker, because with Swordbreaker declare a type, and if you attack it, like essentially you detach one, and then you could declare a type, right? Any type that you attack that is of that type gets instantly destroyed. So at one point, and I brought out Swordbreaker the first time, I was facing a freaking Blackluster Soldier called Warrior type, and I thought it was gonna Swordbreaker would be destroyed, but nope, it was freaking Blackluster instead. So we got that. Next we'll do the level 3, which is Levier. Put Levy because we need Levier, the one that lets you detach one, especially one banished level 4 or lower monster. And we're gonna need Levier, the Leviathan Dragon. You're gonna need Sea Dragon and Leviathan Dragon. So Leviathan Dragon, good attack point. Sea Dragon brings some banished monsters back to your field to use them for sinks and whatnot. And then we're gonna need a Zen Mains. Why add Zen Mains? Because if you use Tour Guide and Trick Archfiend, this is a freaking, like, I learned through experience. This, like, I was playing a bot against my own, using the Archfiend deck against itself. So I didn't know that he used Tour Guide to bring out Trick Archfiend. I didn't expect it. I'm thinking he's gonna waste the card effect, because I tried to bring it out with Leviathan Dragon. It didn't work. Try to use effects. So I attempted to destroy wind up Zen Mains. Zen Mains is effect activated, detach the trick, and then its effect activates. So that is, you're gonna want that in there. So not only that, after that we are going to use Kachikochi Dragon, or is it Kachikochi? I'm gonna put Kachi K. Yep, we got it. Kachi K. Gagaga Cowboy. Alright, we got Gagaga Cowboy. Right, we have number 50, Black Ship of Corn. I still don't see how a freaking flying ship is a plant type, even if it's named Corn. I don't care. Number 66, Black Key Beetle. And what else was in there? Okay, next we have number 39, Utopia, which basically means, like, Utopia is good to stop attacks, but once it runs out of thingamajigs, it's useless. We have that, and we have Photon Papalip. After that, you're basically on your way to Archfiend deck. I don't want to say it's successful, but I'll have to show you how it plays. So thanks guys for watching. I'll meet you with DevPro so we can test it out. Alright guys, welcome back. Now I'm in my Dev Pro, which is probably gonna lag most likely. But I'm basically now going to show you the playstyle of this deck. I'm facing a Bach against, I believe I'm facing the Agents deck, but this is how I play it. Since I already have Pandemonium in my hand, I didn't draw too good a hand, but now that I have Pandemonium in my hand, I'll be able to stop two attacks, right? So we'll be good for now. I have my face, and let's see what this bot got. So what we want is, okay, we're definitely facing the Aegis. What we want is Prison Queen Archfiend in the graveyard. He's about to destroy my field spell, which is going to be awesome for me since I have Gores in my hand. So like I was saying, we want to have Prison Queen Archfiend in our hand, because with that in our hand, who should we banish? Should we take the damage? Nah, I'll just mirror force it. Mirror force it to death. Wow, see, I knew it was gonna lag like that, but like I was saying, we'll use Queen Archfiend, right? Chain another card. Actually, nah, I'll leave it because I want to have some defense. We want Queen Archfiend in the grave, because before that we had Pandemonium. We still want it in the graveyard, but before that we wanted Pandemonium. We wanted Pandemonium in the grave, which with Pandemonium we can essentially give any monster that we want a 1,000 of free life points. And this thing is gonna lag so bad, so I'll be right back, you guys. Alright guys, we're back. So with the luck of the draw, I drew Trance Archfiend, which I'm going to use his effect. And since I know the freaking agent deck doesn't run any like, it runs, I think it runs effect. Yeah, it definitely does run effect village, but it doesn't run anything like Swift Scarecrow or anything like that. So he'll be taking that 2,000 damage to the head. Alright, what's good about Trance Archfiend is when it's destroyed, you can target one of your banished. Oh yeah, Chris's Archfiend gets added back to your hand instead of being destroyed from the deck. Oh, that's crazy cool. So we will activate the card, so he won't get that back. But with Trance Archfiend, you get to target one of your banished monsters. That oh lord, Jesus, what is he planning to do? Bring out the Shine Balls. I'm pretty sure he'll try and attempt to bring out what's your dingy? Gotcha. Or he could bring Disgusto Phoenix, and he just wastes. Like I was saying, the friggin' bots on this are retarded, just a little bit. Just a little. The question is, do I want to take that damage head? I'll take that damage head on since I already have Gores. So now we have Dark Resonator in my hand. So with Dark Resonator, if I could say, oh my Jesus, okay, yeah, the bot is really retarded. Why would he do that? Don't do that. Oh, it doesn't even matter. Do I want to drop that goals? No, I don't. I'll take that 2,700. Yeah, that is a lot of damage that I'm taking. So I just lost close to 6,000 damage. But now that since we have Gores, you could drop him in attack position, and I could just kamikaze the token right into it, because I'm pretty sure he used the last one. He used his last fairy type. So we're going to normal summon the Resonator. Kamikaze right into that. Gets destroyed. Even though you can special summon it back, it doesn't matter. I could just Phoenix Chain it. Yeah, I realized because I just said that. Alright, so just like that, we evened up to game 2. How much is this? Okay. We're close to even up the game, and now he's top decking like a mofo. So all we need is one attack and we'll be good. No. Can't even play that. So I will do as I do and end the game with Gores. And that is a play style of the Archfiend deck, even though they get to use much Archfiend with you have to normal summon commander to essentially play Knight. But I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and keep watching through this entire I don't know how many minutes this is gonna be, this entire video. And I hope you have fun with the Archfiend deck, because I know I do. So I'd like to thank you all for that. And if you like my deck showcase, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Crazy the Show, always here. New Minecraft, new Pokemon, new Yu-Gi-Oh. We do that. We about that life. So thanks again for watching.